All right, guys. So this morning we're talking about, how our minds actually affect the world around us. So this is a mindset, Friday mindset morning. And so I just want you in the chat, if you don't mind, whether you're on camera or not, whether you're getting ready or whatever it is, take 1 second and I want you to put a word in the chat that you feel like defines who you are. One word that defines who you are. Could be something like a noun, right? That's like, okay, I see myself as, I don't know, freaking horse, a lion. I don't know. You might see yourself as strong. You might see yourself as, persevering. You might see yourself as, I don't know, you pick. What's something that just pops to your mind? Don't think too much about it. Just boom, what comes to you, right? Like I see this about myself. It kind of defines a little bit. If someone was to, interact with you, what would they say about you? When I run into Adam, he's this way. When I run into Joe, he's that kind of guy, right? What is that? As you do that, I want you to think about this phrase, as a man thinks, so is he. As a man thinks, so is he. Because the thoughts that we have about the world around us are like code that goes into a computer. Your mind's constantly running. It's how you experience the world around you. You're thinking about, hey, what am I perceiving right now? What do I have for breakfast? What do I have to do today? Oh, what about that conversation I had with the person in my house? They're very self-focused thoughts for the most part, and a to-do list that you have for the day, and you're experiencing it. But the feelings that you get from it are often informed by the code that you're constantly writing and thinking about yourself. Let me say it another way. Imagine that something occurs during the day. Imagine that someone sends an email in a certain way to you. And that email says, yeah, I'd really, like to get that by the end of the day. Or, hey, this should have happened earlier. And you might think to yourself, oh gosh, I'm not a good person. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. The person with this mindset that's writing a code to their mind, which is the computer, the person who's writing that is constantly thinking to themselves, man, here's negativity. I'm perceiving the world around me in a negative way. The person on the opposite end, though, who's hearing positive affirmations about themselves, from themselves, is actually able to create a world around them that is positive, that's bringing them closer and closer to their goals. I want you to ask yourself, don't put this in the chat, but just on a scale of 1 to 10, how positively do you talk about yourself? How positively do you talk about yourself? Don't put it in the chat. The reason that I ask this is because as we perceive the world around us, and we can perceive it in positive ways and in negative ways, how we perceive ourselves, how I perceive who I am as a person, has utmost impact on my life. If I think of myself in a level of shame or guilt or hurt, of anxiety, of I'm never doing enough, if I'm always less than, if I can't ever seem to catch up, if you ever felt that way, and this is for you this morning, how positively do you think about yourself? Scale of 1 to 10. On the reciprocal, how negatively do you think about yourself? 1 to 10. 1 being, I really don't think of myself that bad. 10 being, man, I constantly am always hard on myself. I'm always coming down on me. Me can never do enough. Me, I try, but I always see where I come short. Me, when I make an effort, it's never enough. Me, you got to try harder because you're just not there. You're just not good enough. Have you ever felt that way? You ever thought that? What are the things that you say negatively about yourself? Now, this could be anything. Hey, I wish I was ... I wish I was this. Now, here's what I want to challenge you with. Talking negatively about yourself is very different than saying, you know what? I don't have money right now, and I would like to have money later. But the difference is this. Poor is just a state of being. Okay? I can be poor. Okay? I can also be rich. that is just a dollar figure. But broke is a mindset. Broke is a mindset. I never had money. You ever hear people talk about money and talk about themselves this way? Oh, we never have money. Oh, we never have this. Well, God doesn't want me to have good things in life. I grew up with that. Total negative talk about money. Total negative talk about ourselves. Oh, not that great. Oh, you know what? That's for some people. That's the negative mindset that I'm talking about. And when we constantly say that to ourselves, we're distancing ourselves away further and further and further away from our goals. What are the positive things that you say about yourself? What are the good things that you say about you? When you think about yourself from time to time, do you ever talk positively about yourself? I don't just mean like in some, prideful way, but I mean just like some nice things. What are some kind words that you say about yourself? Now, why am I talking about all this? Well, as many of you know and realize, you're a part of this team because you want to not only, obviously succeed in real estate, but you also want to become a better person. That's one of the main reasons that people join this team. I want to become a better person. I want to experience real estate, and I want to sell real estate, and I want to demand excellence, and I want to, align with these core values, and I want to be around like-minded people, and I want to do this business to the best level that I can. And the way that we think about ourselves has such a huge impact on this. Take a look at this. I'm going to put this in the chat. Our programming affects our thoughts, and our thoughts affect our feelings. Our feelings affect our actions affect our habits, and our habits affect our results. Think about this, how you grew up or what you think about yourself, your thoughts and your programs, they affect how you feel about the world, what you say to yourself in the morning. And those feelings determine how you're going to act. If you feel like junk because you talk junk about yourself, do you want to therefore get on a phone and have a conversation with someone who might hang up on you and is upset? No. Do you want to go out and try to make friends with somebody who you've never made friends with before just so you can have a conversation about real estate later? You probably don't. Do you want to therefore, if you don't do that enough, does it ever become a habit in your life? No, it doesn't. If it never becomes a habit in your life and you don't do anything consistently, we all know that if you never do it consistently, it never has a true result and impact in your life. So all of this, it's so funny. People try to sell real estate agents all day long and get the results that you want, get the more closings that you want, do this stuff, and they'll walk one further backwards, and they're like, that's why you need to call your leads every single day. And you went from results backwards to habits, but they might say actions or anything, but they never get to what drives you every day. And what drives you every day are your feelings and your thoughts and your programming. And that's why you're on a Zoom at 9:00 trying to listen about your mindset, which you have the opportunity to level up today. And so I want to ask you about affirmations. Please put in the chat, has anyone ever done affirmations before? Said some things about yourself to kind of pump you up in the day? Howie says yes. Lou says I have. Affirmations. What are they? Well, I want to almost like rewrite this for a second. It's almost like code to your brain about you running a program and experience that is yet to happen yet. That is yet to happen. Let's say it a different way. Affirmations are getting to the programming in your brain to describe an experience and creating an experience which you have yet to have. Let me give you an example of that. I used to say to myself, I'm the #1 real estate agent in Connecticut. I run the #1 team in Connecticut.
Dun, dun, dun. Sorry.
No, it's great. Every day. It's wild what shows up for you in the world around you when you begin to, and you can call it whatever you want. They could write a book. It's called The Secret. You could say these things. It's the law of attraction. It's all those things. I'm not going to go into all of that, right? I'm not going to go into all of it, whether you believe that or not. But what I will say is that what you talk about over and over and over your mind looks to find evidence for. Your mind is constantly looking to find evidence for what you say. If you're saying to yourself, you're never enough, you can never do enough, all that you do is just, you're only as good as your last. If you constantly say that, your mind is always looking for the experience around you. So I figured I'd just put a couple of morning affirmations here for you guys. Here they are. Some are about just like being, I figured I wanted to find a bunch of stuff that you guys, comment on from time to time. Confidence, productivity, confidence, goals, work-life balance, and gratitude. We're putting those in the chat there. We're not gonna do some kumbaya thing and ask everyone to say this stuff. I'm not gonna do that. But I want you to look at these and want you to pick one out for yourself that's kind of like, this is where I am today. This is where I am today. I need to say this to myself, 9:13. Some of us are already at the office, but I need to say this to myself before I get started on my day. Hey, I'm capable and competent in my job. I have the skills and the knowledge needed to succeed in my role. So if you're brand new, you might want to say that. Why? Are you telling a lie? No. Here's the thing. This is what your brain will tell you. Well, you're not yet. You don't know all that stuff. You don't know it yet. No, but what I am doing is I'm writing the program for where I want to be in my life. I'm writing exactly what I want myself to show up as. Productivity. I feel totally distracted. I feel like I need to take a whole bottle of Adderall, right? But I'm going to say I'm focused and productive in my tasks. I am highly productive. I'm going to say that to myself and allow myself again and again to hear that so that I can look to find that in the world around me. Confidence. If I'm struggling with that stuff, I am confident in my self-worth. I trust my abilities to perform exceptionally well. I'm going to constantly look for that today. Saying these things out. Your goals. I know someone who says every single morning to themselves, I list and sell a house a day. I list and sell a house a day. I list and sell a house a day. Over and over and over. She consistently sells over $15 to $20 million every year in real estate. No surprise. Why? Because she's constantly, her brain is looking for ways in order to find the reality of that programming, which is I list and sell a house a day. Work-life balance. I balance work and personal life with grace and ease. I create time and relaxation and self-care. I think I need to say that a lot more because it's hard to find that balance, and I'm sure many of you feel that. I want to end this morning with gratitude. I love this affirmation. I am so grateful to be doing the work I love and enjoy. I'm blessed to work with people who respect and appreciate me. I want to ask you this. What comes first in your life? Is it going to be, most people are waiting for some sort of event in their life to then get the affirmation that they've always wanted. I'll say that again. Some people are waiting to complete or do a task or reach a milestone that's going to eventually get them the affirmations that they always wanted. My contention is this. We start with the affirmations that we truly want in our life, which then show up and realize the goals and the reality and the results that you've always wanted to realize. I don't need to wait in order to do some big task to finally be, knighted as like, good job, you did this one thing. I always thought that it would be that way. Maybe if I sell enough houses, then like everyone's going to come up and be like, great job, you did it. I'm going to tell you, for anyone who's on this call, who's ever sold a certain amount of houses, you'll sell it and then they'll be like, great, what are you doing next month? It's never going to be some bright light out of heaven that's going to let you know, hey, you're affirmed. What we need to start with instead is start with the affirmations, which then lead over to those results. I'll go back and I'll say it once again this way, and that's the programming that we have affects the thoughts that we think, which affect the feelings that we feel, the actions that we do, the habits that we repeat, and the results that we receive. Many of you have probably heard this before. You should dress for the job that you want. Have you heard that before? Of course you have. Dress for the job that you want. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I want you to dress. I want you to put on your best outfit in your mind today. I want you to put on your very best. Go into your closet of your mind and find the best outfit that you can about Lou, about Howie, about Michaela, about Joe. Put the best outfit that you can on inside about you and say something kind about yourself today. Watch the ripple effects that it has in your life. When you say something kind to yourself, you believe that kind thing about it. You speak out these affirmations, allow your brain to try to find this. I'm the best team leader that there possibly is. I lift people up around me and I help them make more money than they could here and anywhere else. I'm going to say that to myself so that I believe that, and I'm going to find a way to make that happen today. Lots of love to you guys. I hope you have an amazing Friday, amazing weekend. Hit me up if you need help. I'll be in and out of some Zoom meetings here and there, but otherwise, looking forward to an amazing weekend. See you guys. Bye-bye.